Hey, March 14th. Yes, 3.14. It never tasted so good. Apricot pie? Who ever heard of apricot pie? I hadn't. What better way to honor Pie Day than with a golden apricot pie cooling on the counter while friends and family trade stories about life and love and the magic of simple traditions? Nothing beats homemade pie. It's a sweet excuse to gather and to laugh and to share stories over a perfectly round pie. You see, baking apricot pie from scratch becomes more than just a dessert. It's a timeless baking tradition. The apricot is a stone fruit that must be picked at perfection and does not like to be left sitting on top of the other fruits, as the meat of the apricot is very delicate, and its skin is very thin and can be punctured very easily. Therefore, the apricots are washed in cool water, and they're halved and the pit removed shortly after picking for the best taste and texture. Apricot pie is a sweet concoction of a great homemade pie crust, perfectly washed and pitted and sliced apricots with their sweetened sauce are actually layered together. Within the perfect circle of the pie pan, apricots are placed, slightly overlapping, cut side down, with the thickened sauce flavored with cinnamon and cardamom and brown sugar, and just a touch of lemon layered between the fruit. The top is typically latticed, which takes an extra few minutes to assemble. But once the fruit is nestled into the crust and baked until golden and bubbly, it's hard to wait for it to cool. Icy cold vanilla ice cream is a perfect match for this pie. Pie Day and apricot pie, a sweet slice of math and stories and friendship. Welcome to Dream Builders Diaries, building one's dreams one story at a time. I'm Jeannie Kraft, and here at Dream Builders Diaries, we dive deep into the personal stories of entrepreneurs and artists, innovators, and everyday visionaries just like you. We believe that every dream starts with a story worth telling, and by sharing these stories, we aim to empower you to create your own dream and the story behind it. But before we get started, grab a paper and a pencil if you don't already have one. Inspiration, ideas, and dreams come and go so quickly. Jot yours down and don't let them get away. Follow the simple, satisfying journey of turning fresh apricots, flour, and butter and love into a golden, bubbling apricot pie from scratch. Discover why making apricot pie from scratch, from picking and tending to the fruit to crimping the crust, creates flavors and memories no store-bought dessert can match. Laughter plus friendship. It's the sweetest slice of math. This diary was shared with me by a friend. She taught third grade many years ago. That's actually how we met. I learned many things during my third year of elementary school. One special thing I learned from my grandmother was that I loved having my feet massaged, not with lotion, but with warm, sweet almond oil. The story brought back many of those sweet memories for me. This is what she shared. About 20 years ago, she said, we were spending a lot of time with our friend Jocelyn, as we always had. The joys we had always endured through all those years were just being emphasized now that she had been diagnosed with pancreatic cancer. Throughout her illness, it was comforting to Jocelyn to have her feet massaged, a fact my friend learned from her sister. Foot massage was something that my friend had known very well. She knew how to do it very, very well. And so every evening when they came over, she promised that she would give Jolene a foot massage for the duration, if of course she would share stories too. Rarely was it quiet, as the laughter flowed as much as the warm tea we also loved sharing. We caressed her feet and for over an hour every time we visited. It was just something we all looked forward to doing. But of course, we'll massage your feet, Jolyn. But what else can we do? We asked one innocent afternoon. Well, she said, if you ever go to Santa Fe, stop in at Josie's Casita de Comida Cafe and get me one of her apricot pies. Really? Who ever heard of apricot pie? Of course, we'll go to New Mexico. We loved our trips to New Mexico, and it wasn't that far from Colorado. So we started planning that afternoon. 3 weeks later, we were on our way. We found that Josie was near the Santa Fe Square in a house that looked like it had been remodeled into a restaurant. It didn't take long to find, but it looked closed. One guy stood on the porch. My friend told the man that we wanted to get an apricot pie to take back to our friend in Denver. He said, "I'll go ask my mom." Within a couple of minutes, we learned they were having a private party, and the restaurant was closed. But the young man appeared and said, "Come on in." And when he returned to the porch. So we were escorted to a room where the employees all ate. It was there we were introduced to Josie by her son. You see, Josie was a wonderful, warm soul. She had years of pie making experience, which showed on her hands. Best of all, she really wanted to take care of us. Josie listened intently to the story of our reason for being there, and her response was, "Well, let me go check in the freezer and see if I have any frozen apricot pies. But meanwhile, tell me what you all want to eat, and we'll get that started for you." We were really surprised, but we had been warned by Jolyn. She will feed you. But we said, what if someone finds out and asks why we're getting to eat when you're having a private event? She turned around and quickly said, "I'll just tell them you're my family." "There's a strong family resemblance." Josie laughed as she hugged us both. Then she shared that the apricots had come from the trees which grew in the backyard of the old property. The trees, she explained, had been growing since the family moved in about 25 years ago. Here's where the math comes in. An apricot tree must be at least 3 to 4 years old to begin producing fruit. A consistent harvest may come between 5 and 8 years later, and a tree grown from seed would take at least 10 years. Considering a pie takes just over 3 pounds of fresh apricots, a tree must produce that amount just to make one pie. Josie had served us a delicious meal. The goodbyes were long and the repeated hugs even longer. We knew we would return soon, but we returned from our Santa Fe journey with far more than apricot pie. Our friend Jolyn lived 3 years, 3 pie days, March 14th, and many apricot pie days from the time of her diagnosis. Josie also had the perfect ritual: fresh apricot pie cooling on the counter, a gentle foot rub on the couch, and stories shared from the heart. Sometimes the sweetest recipes are for connection. Why this diary? Because this diary demonstrates the magic and the secrets about seasonal fruits. When ripe apricots meet a flaky homemade crust, the result is a sweet tart pie that proves that best desserts are made in the kitchen, not always in the freezer aisle. I also share this diary because the powerful diary demonstrates the virtues of discipline and endurance, friendship and peace, more than just dessert. Eating apricot pie from scratch can become the start of a cozy afternoon filled with laughter and storytelling and the simple comfort of a well-appreciated foot rub. A pie can be a recipe for togetherness, from fresh, ripe apricots to sharing warm pie and swapping stories while someone rubs your feet with oil. The homemade dessert turns an ordinary afternoon or evening into a memory. So, what was your biggest takeaway from our diary today? How does this diary relate to what you must learn and what you must learn about yourself as you build your dream? Dreamers, believe in yourselves. Be passionate, work smart, and know your why, and apply what you learn each day. And as you ponder the source of your dream in this diary, I wish you well. I wish you an abundance of resources and knowledge and wisdom with your time and your future success with your dream. Enjoy life and always, always be kind. I want to leave you with a quotation. The time to begin most things is 10 years ago. That was Mignon McLaughlin. I'll read it again. The time to begin most things is 10 years ago. Mignon McLaughlin. Thanks so much to my third grade special teacher, Vicki, and her friends, Myrna and Jolyn. The best diaries are stories that bring people together. Special thanks to those of you who listen to Dream Builders Diaries regularly. I'm grateful to you. And the honor to spend time with you is all mine. So if you don't have it yet, get your 90-Day Dream Builders Diary by Jeannie Craft on Amazon. Like and share this diary and subscribe for more. Contact us to share your story. So thank you. Until next time, building dreams one story at a time.